and Views with Bella. I am your host, Bella. Today we have a special guest. I'm going to let them pronounce their name.
Phuket
Phuket
Johnson.
Johnson.
Okay. Welcome, guys. Welcome,
What
welcome,
up? What
welcome.
up? What up?
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
All right. Now, I have a bunch of questions right off my head before I start with the paper.
All right.
Because I really want to know the name. Where did you guys get the name from?
Honestly, me and the guitarist Jason, uh, I was already playing around with different names anyway, and I knew of the city called Phuket, or they say Phuket or however, whatever.
Mm.
And I was like, man, let's just make it difficult for the announcers to figure out how they're gonna say the
Yeah.
name, and it just literally became a joke, you know. But it's a play on words. That's all it is.
You see the hesitation on the announcer's voice when, when they get ready to say your name. I know you do.
Yeah, yeah. That's the fun part about it.
Yeah, because I was not. I said I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try. So how did you guys meet and decide to form a group? Because I know I read in your autobiography that y'all are from two different groups.
Yeah. So some years ago, I had joined this band called Wicked Jones, and it was a pretty popular band around this area. And me and Jason, we spent some time together before that in a band actually called Back of Beyond. And in that band, I had Jason Carlos McSwain, who went on to play with Snoop Dogg, and uh, Andy Likey on guitar. And so we just stayed in contact and stayed in touch. And but in Wicked Jones, you gonna always have some rough times. That's part of the game.
Yeah.
And then we separated literally for about 9 years. Or 9 years, he didn't even play at all. But then we linked back up. Um, we sit down, have a talk. Get everything out in the open, and make a long story short. When someone be accountable, it's easy to let go things, and that's what happened. And we came up with the name, and we was like, man, let's go with it. And we got a sound. Some of the players from Amite Black, they was already in place. They wanted to play. And it just worked out. And you got what you got right now.
Okay, that's what it's called. I was hesitant on that one too because I was like, it looks like Amity. Then it's called, you know what I'm saying? Then Amite is what I thought it was.
That's a bit. That's actually a biblical name.
Amite.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Jonah's father name.
Oh, okay.
It supposedly stands for my truth. So, but yeah. With what we had from the Wicked Jones to the Amite Black, we wanted to just have something new.
Okay.
And so have a fresh start.
All right. All right. Did you come from Wicked Jones or?
I came from Amite Black.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I got both of y'all up here.
Yeah.
All right. So were you were with the whole combining with everything, or did you come later on?
Um, I came in when, safe to say, Wicked Jones had already dispersed or disbanded, what
Mhm.
have you. And I got a call from this gentleman right here, and we literally hit it off.
That's good.
It was a no brainer. The different guys that were a part of the band, for the most part, are still here, and it's been an uphill battle. But I can honestly say it's been an honor just walking with this dude through this process, because one of the biggest things he helped to remind me of was it wasn't going to be easy.
Yeah.
And in this particular line of work, man, I
The
mean,
attacks are going to come.
And the irony is those were his exact words. That was the exact quote that he used.
Yeah.
He said the attacks are going to come, and what that meant for me was we don't necessarily get to decide where the attacks are coming from. You just have to be ready for them to show up.
It happened before the show. That's what y'all don't realize. People don't realize we didn't know if we was going to even get to do the show
The show.
because the attack hit my guitar player first.
Yes.
and he was literally in the hospital. In January? I think,
January. Yes.
for like weeks.
Oh
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
And then right before the show,
Show.
my keyboardist
Keyboards
got
couldn't
attacked.
make it. Yeah.
And it came with a health situation, and he's still
He's
dealing
still
with that
dealing with
right
that
now.
right
So
now.
we was one man down at the show,
At the show.
but we made up our mind we're gonna do it.
We're gonna keep walking.
But y'all were amazing. Like you couldn't even tell that you had what was going on inside. But that's how you're supposed to perform. Like everything is there. Despite the obstacles that came with it.
Mhm.
That was y'all were wonderful. Yep.
Thank you.
It's for me. I'm learning a lot. As I go on a journey with Kev and Connected. So you guys were the first rock band I've seen that were a rock band from us. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about that too. I got some questions down the line with that. You know what I'm saying?
we can go there.
Because I was shocked when you guys came in. I was like, wait a minute, okay. But then when I read the biography, I seen how how you guys did it. I was like, okay, because I was kind of questionable, like, okay, maybe they're they're from from a sunshine state, that kind of. I'm trying to say it without saying it.
Of course, yeah.
we do it. We do it all.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Y'all performance was amazing. I
Thank you.
really
Thank you.
genuinely enjoyed it, and it was something different for me. It's something different for me, and I was open minded to it because I was like, oh God, wait a minute, what's going on?
Cool.
Where were your biggest influence when you all started the band?
Shoot.
I mean, it's always been what it's been. Like it's so many different influences. That's what makes our chemistry so unique. Because I mean, for me personally, I started out in quartet gospel, so I can't even give a performance without that shining through. Like that's just part of who I am, and but even in that. I mean, I'll be listening to the Russian orchestra, like I'll be all over the place, and so I'm around a group of guys that's the same way.
Okay.
And the great thing about this band is, I think with the exception of Jason, all of us are drummers first.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, literally. Like he played drums, I played drums, a drummer, and then the keyboard. He started off on drums.
Drums too. Yes.
So just our approach to how we make music is different just because of that alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you guys have one writer, or what's the process when you guys write? Do you listen to the lyrics first or the melody first, or is it something else you guys do to start your writing process, or do you
that can come from any direction. And once, for example, G can have a melody and he'll call us up and say, hey, come on over. I got an idea. This is what I got. He said, now let me see what y'all can do with it. Or Jason came over one day and was like, yo, this is what I got. What can you do with this? So again, it's never a set thing as to who's going to do what. It's definitely a team.
Let me tell you how it really works. I normally I write music around the message of what I have to say.
Okay.
And then I'll create it and I'll bring it to them and say, okay, guys, here you go, enhance it, and literally walk out the room. And the reason why I do that is because I believe in putting everyone on the copyrights. I don't believe in, because this is not a work for hire gig. This is artists. It's not just musicians. So you gotta do your part. And so, that's how we deal with all that. The song, we just split it, each man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a group thing. That's
group
wonderful.
Thing.
So because it means it's not just one person. It's all of us and all of our ideas and all of our feelings. And
Yes.
that's what resonates through your music. It's like I'm not singing this song for him because this was his idea. This is all of our feelings put into this song.
Yeah, I don't believe in micromanaging.
Yeah.
You know, and you asking them to be artists. You know, that's. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being a musician, but at some point, like, when are you going to create? Like, I want to know your thoughts.
Yes.
You know, so
Because then it makes it feel like they're lost in somebody else's shadow.
right.
I love it. I love it. That's what keeps the chemistry, everything going with everybody.
Without a doubt.
What themes or messages do you find yourself returning to in your music?
I've always focused heavy, and just from the beginning, especially with Wicked Jones to now, even I'm gonna take Black, like, it's always been a thing of making people awaken to the social engineering tactics that's being used on us, and it's like people are scared to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for me because, like I said, I started out in gospel, and to think about the things that I've done and said that I can never take back, that's tough, because there are a lot of things that just doesn't add. It don't. The math ain't mathing. And I'm not trying to be mean in any way, but I'm just more about facts and knowing, instead of just believing, because if I'm just believing, that means I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm more of a knower. So I just spend a lot of time researching things, and being able to put it in a format so that people can receive it in song. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You have anything to add to that?
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no. No,
Yeah.
he definitely
So.
said he summed it up well.
And I'm saying that the nice way, because I can really go in.
You really go in. Yeah. He's been real mild right now. Very mild. Very mild.
So what's your guys' most memorable performance?
Well, actually, that was this band. That was this band's first show.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, we're seasoned veterans at performing, so not that we don't take every performance serious, because we do, but I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, so
That's
I'm more comfortable on stage than I am in my own bed. So I mean, it's what we do.
that was wonderful. That performance. I loved it. How do you prepare before you go on stage? Do you guys y'all pray together, or what's the routine before each performance?
Well, the thing about this band is everybody have a different thing that they do, because that's the good thing about it. You have believers in this band, and then you have people that's more spirituality, and but yet and still we have a common thing of understanding that there's something greater than us, the reason why we're here. And so we'll have talks about that, about just going out and being positive, and having a good time, and making sure that we be of service to the people that support what we do.
Okay.
And showing our togetherness that way they see it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it shines through. It definitely shines through, you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the weirdest or wildest thing that's happened to you guys on tour?
In the past, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to answer this?
Wait.
No, it's happened to me at least 5 times that I can remember. But at this one particular time in Fayetteville, and we was doing a what's it called during the daytime? We were having our signings and all that stuff.
A meet and greet.
Yeah, meet and greet.
Meet and greets.
So I saw him there, but then he came to the show, and the dude literally offered me his wife, and me and the people in my merch table, we looking like, what? That right there, that's probably the weirdest for me, and that's happened 5 times since I've been
it wasn't the same person,
No,
right?
no, this is
Okay.
different.
I'm about to say he really was trying to get rid of her.
No, now this different. There's just different situations. It's like,
Ooh.
wow, that's crazy.
that yeah.
But
Gee.
that's rock and roll. I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
Woo. Mm.
yeah.
Do you have one? That one takes the cake. I don't know how you would top that one. It was
I couldn't top that one even if I wanted to. So no.
What did you say?
I just looked at him and shook my head like, I'm just I didn't know what to say, honestly. I know I wasn't doing it.
No.
I know that much, but like I said, it's happened 5 times that I can remember. So it's just, some people, man, sometimes people do things in hopes to have something on you, because we've been taught to live in such a world of make believe that when reality hit, a lot of us don't know how to react, so we short circuit. And that's what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm older now, and I realize, man, a lot of people really love to be lied to. No, they really like. I wish people just admitted they like to be lied to. They don't want to be accountable for nothing. So it's just people living in this world of make believe, and they do things that's not realistic.
Because you guys are who you are, does it, like, when stuff like that happens, do you guys like, okay, this is, because we are who we are, stuff like this is just gonna happen, or does it still catch you guys by surprise, or are you just used to the strangeness?
Used to it.
Okay.
You're gonna see it, but that's why with my guys, I taught them from day one. When we move together. Most of the time, you see one of us, you see all of us. We're never too far apart, because you just never know what people might do to try to get you off your block. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's because of the climate that we're in, where you got so much just people wanting to be fake, but when reality hit, they they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of stuff before, and we just most time we just stay clear of it. And that's the best way for us to be.
Yeah, it keep you on your toes too. It definitely keeps you on your toes.
I mean, but it could come from anywhere. It could come from family.
Yeah.
The one that say they love you, but they're jealous of you. I mean, it could come from so many directions.
Or friends.
Yeah.
Anybody.
I mean, heck, it happened here recently. I mean, I got somebody that was supposed to be cool with me, and everything that we posted, she has something negative to say about it.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? But that's expected, because everybody can't go where you're about to go.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys get the because you're expected to do R&B or stuff like that? Do you get the the questions as to why you decided to go into
rock?
Yes.
Not really. They don't really want to ask us anything. I mean, be honest with you, because here's the deal. And like I said at the show, we're doing what we do. What you hear on record is what you're going to hear live or greater. And it's so many people out here doing karaoke.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's rap, R&B, I mean, rock artists, people are using main stage and they're not even singing or even playing really. And I'm honestly, I'm upset with the people, because why you ticket buyers, or maybe not, but why you don't require the bar to be higher of us artists, and you about to pay all that money, and they up there and their mic ain't even on, their instruments not really being played, but you're gonna pay $150 ticket or something to go like. Are you serious? It made me think about, oh, well, I was a student. I was in band, but I never made the first chair. Well, that's your fault. Right. You should have worked harder to make the first. So now you just want to approve other people who never made it the first chair. I mean, I'm keeping it real. Like, it's sad where it is right now, because there's so many people just okay with being fake, and they love to be lied to.
Yeah. Because I've been to a couple of shows where you know, the lip singing wasn't good,
Mm,
and you move them, you know, you sit there like, okay, I could kind of tell they not singing it. Then when they move the mic a certain way, you could, yeah,
Why are
seen
we
it.
okay with that?
I mm,
You see what I'm saying? Why you pay money to go see that unless your
Yeah.
self-esteem is low or something like, yeah.
that was like one of my first shows. It was like, okay, this was this is a waste of money.
Most of your rappers, they can't remember all their lyrics, so their mic is never live.
I've seen those too. Yeah. Where you got the audience singing most of your lyrics.
Yeah. Why is the bar that low? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not trying to pick. That's why I'm not calling no names, but it's just,
I
why
feel
is the
like-
bar that low?
I feel like when they reach a certain financial status, they feel like they don't have to do the work. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to perform, like, you know, because they feel like they you know, I'm making millions now. You know, I can go there and, you know, people pay just to see me. So I ain't really got to perform. I think that's why most of these artists half of their songs are not words. Like they just sounds. You know what I'm saying? So
But what is your message to lift up the community
Exactly.
in any of it?
Exactly. That's why I love old school music. The music that made sense, the music you heard the words to. Like this new school music is
I mean, it is what it is. But that's the only thing I just wish that people would go back to having a bar for what, you know, artists should be.
yeah.
You know, I mean, and then all the cheating I got to talk about it. We here.
I understand.
All the cheating that's going on. I remember, man. I tell them all the time. I was young. I was in my teens, but I was already hanging around some industry cats, you know, with major labels. And I'll never forget, man. They were sitting there just scanning CDs and vinyls and like, man, what y'all doing? And they said, man, do you really think that artist really sold 1 million copies her first day? I like, what?
Wow.
And so then you learn about the sale farms where they boosting numbers. But then when it comes to concert, they got to give away so many tickets to make it look like this artist is really drawing these many
Packing
people.
the seats.
You know, that stuff been going on for years. So it's like we dogged out Milli Vanilli for doing karaoke and faking. But now that's exactly what the artists are doing today.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Like they blackball Milli Vanilli.
I mean, hard.
Yes.
But you paying for it now.
Exactly.
Yeah, the irony. Yeah.
I wish I could hear what they say about it now. Like I know it's like they looking like, okay, I couldn't get this back then, but these people were doing this now openly.
And they're accepting it
with no
Mhm.
shame.
They're accepting it in everything. It's not just music. They're accepting it in politics,
Yeah.
being lied to. They're accepting it in corporations, being lied to. Like it's just, and it's acceptable. Like what happened? Yeah. Anyway.
Can you tell us a story about a song that came together unexpectedly? Like something you guys just was, you know, sitting around and y'all just came up. You know, one person started singing one part and everybody just came in with the hook. You got one of them stories?
Oh, well, our songwriting work a little different
Different than that.
because normally I don't write no lyrics down. And you know, it's just like, you know, I think about things and, you know, I just be sitting there and have a melody and then it just come to me and then I'll just record it,
Okay.
you know, and then once I do that, we just create the music around the words and the message. And that's normally how it works for us.
So most of y'all stuff is unexpected. Like
Oh yeah, I don't have no idea.
It's never set. No, it's never set.
That's great.
I mean, well, you probably didn't notice, but most bands have a set list on the stage. If you notice, when we perform, there was no papers on the floor.
No.
That, you know what? When I ain't even gonna do it because I noticed that when we were at the thing, and I was wondering what she was looking at on the floor.
Well, see, here's the thing, and this is not a knock on anybody. I seen it as a kid, man, growing up in Quartet, and I learned real quick there's a difference between just a lead singer and a front man. A front man is a very special person because he may not even be the greatest singer, but he has a natural knack to connect with the people. And I pride myself on, really looking to see what's going on in that particular market, that community, to be able to, interact with the people before me, because everybody's, situation is different depending on where you're at, and a lot of people are just, lead singers, but they're not front men.
Okay.
We got about 30 more questions to go.
Wait a minute, she ain't. Has she?
I ain't
Don't
flipped the
forget,
paper over yet.
she hasn't flipped the page. Yet.
So, how do you guys handle disagreements or creative differences? But I don't think you guys have those.
No, we don't.
No, we definitely don't.
First of all, there's a certain level of respect amongst us because we are older now. And to be going back and forth about something is more likely nothing. So no, we don't even have those
That's
issues.
amazing.
Because here's the thing, we try different things.
Yeah.
Because for example, if we're creating a record, to us a record is like a movie, and we're going to start at the ending of it, which is the climax, and work our way to the beginning. And so if you have a part but it don't necessarily fit with the wording of this verse, well, we might could use it on the second verse. And so that's our approach. We take everybody's ideas and just listen and place it where it needs to be.
I love that.
Puzzle
that's
pieces.
Wonderful.
Puzzle pieces.
Yeah. So, what's something that your fans will be surprised to learn about you guys?
I don't know, because we're so raw. Like, there is no surprise. You never know what I'm gonna wear on stage.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's one of them things where to be anticipate what he gonna do today.
That and or most of us are hermits.
Really?
If we're not on stage,
Yeah, we don't.
I'm not quick to be out and about. Yeah. If I have to go to the grocery store, I go to the grocery store, go right back home.
Really?
That's the majority of us in this band. Like,
Yeah.
You're not gonna catch us out.
You're not gonna catch us out everywhere no.
But the funny thing about me coming out, they didn't never know what I'm gonna wear.
Nope.
Yeah.
So it's a surprise to them too.
Yeah, they don't know.
I have no clue.
So when you see him come up there with the
with the robe, I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Jason just froze. He was kind of like, okay.
I'm thinking to myself, hear ye.
It was shocking to all of y'all. That's wonderful. It just keeps it interesting.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna get worse.
Oh
yeah.
So as you guys are performing, is there a dream venue or a festival you've yet to play for?
Is there a dream venue?
Yeah, it's somewhere that you because I know you came from different bands. So somewhere neither one of your bands been to that you would love to go to?
I mean, it's a lot of festivals we would love to play, like Rock in Rio, Lollapalooza, Essence Festival. I mean, pick a festival.
Exactly.
But
Essence Festival would be wonderful.
Well, yeah,
especially
it could, but
for our people.
Yeah, they don't really love rock the way they used to no more. So
yeah, but it would be something interesting because to see you guys do it. I mean, I was like, okay, I'm waiting on this one because I was waiting to see how it sounded. So I think, it would probably be,
we would do it. Make no mistake about it.
We wouldn't flinch now. Let's be clear.
But to answer the question honestly, the dream gig for us, a venue, it's more so about the people, not the actual venue itself. And I tell people all the time, we can give a performance all we want to, but it takes the people and the band to make a great show. And I'm talking about all the bands from start to finish. You want people to leave that and be like, man, that was a great show. It ain't one band was good and the other one's all right. No, the whole show was great.
The whole show was amazing.
That's what make it exciting for us. Like, you know, because we ain't on that ego, big eye, little you stuff, man. That's
No,
just not our vibe. You
there's
know,
way too much of that going on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and to keep it real, that's why I said what I said on stage, like because this is the ideal I came to Kevin with, and you know, I've always been one to look out for up and coming bands, man. I ain't got to close. You do your thing,
Mhm.
you know, and I just think it makes for a great show.
Yeah. Is that why you choose to do the unexpected?
Always.
So do you pick your songs and then you plan your choreography or your what you gonna do with it?
Now that's another situation where things work a little different with me because I'm quartet, and so you know, coming up, I learned how to read crowds, and you know, just looking people in their eyes, and you know
Mhm.
what's going on. So um, you never know what song we're gonna do.
Right.
You just don't because I'm looking at the crowd, and they might need to go a different way than what their set list. So we don't know.
To his credit, he's good at that. He can tell. I mean, I've had an experience with him. We weren't even what 60 seconds into a song, and he could tell right off the bat it wasn't getting ready to fly. So we got to the first chorus, and he was like, and we literally ended after the first chorus, switched gears, and the minute we switched gears, then we took off with no problem. So that's one thing I have to give him mad credit on. He's very good at reading a crowd, and as a front man, that's one of his main jobs. So to keep the crowd engaged, so it works.
So do y'all rehearse all of y'all songs just in case you had to do one, or how does that go? Like, and what he just said, you stopped that song and started another one. They already know the melodies to the other songs.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we rehearse everything.
we rehearse everything.
Yeah, our rehearsals,
Okay.
even our sound checks are most of the time longer than our performance.
Yes.
But yeah, we rehearse everything. Yeah, and the longer the rehearsal, the better.
Okay.
The longer I sing, the more I want to sing.
So the show you guys just did for the rock show, did you already know you guys were gonna do those songs, or?
Yeah, we had you know songs we knew we wanted to do, but exactly what
What order they
order
would
we
go
didn't
in?
we didn't know.
No
Okay.
You
idea.
know. Yeah.
And my question is leading up to what gave you the idea to come in with
The cape on.
yes.
So I knew people was going to be looking for the locks, and I had cut them. And a lot of people, you know, I had a lot of people that say they cool, man, whatever. And they're like, man, you doing the James Brown? Hey, don't get me wrong, I love James Brown. That's my dude. I listen to James all the time. But I'm a huge, and I mean huge, Ric Flair fan. And
The
so,
wrestler.
yes.
Okay.
And so there's a whole story behind that. But it was basically, I was just, making my entry and, letting people know, hey, it's still me, but I cut my locks. And so when we play it back in the documentary we're working on, people get what's going on. Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys weren't doing music, I know you said you came from a gospel. You came from gospel. If you weren't doing music, what would each of you be doing?
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know either.
No,
For
that's
me,
how much we love what we're doing with music. Like,
for me, it's play or die.
Yeah.
So you came from
I come from gospel background. I'm born and raised church boy too.
okay. So what made you decide to do rock? I know I keep asking this question because I'm baffled
I
at
don't
the
know why
fact
you-
that that was the choice that you guys
Now,
decided on.
Now for me, grew up church boy, of course. Started off as a drummer, then of course got tired of waiting on my turn to play drums. So my cousin, who is a beast of a bass player, shout out to Hubert Skeets Kennedy. Much love to you, cousin. He gave me his bass during the offering and said, "Here, play this song." Of course, I'm shook because I've never touched a bass guitar. He's like, "You got it." And the funny thing was, it was a slow song. He said, "This is where it starts. Go." And I can honestly say it was definitely a God moment because I had no idea. And he's sitting there grinning at me like, I'm like, wow. And my cousin is the reason I played bass. Now, to what got me here, our drummer, his name is Brandon Gadet. Love you, boy. He gave me a call and said, "Hey, man, um, I got this guy I want you to meet, and he's putting a band together, G." And he said it's going to be rock. I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." And rock is something that like he said to you earlier, we are notorious for listening to all different types of
Yeah.
music. So rock is definitely no surprise to me at all because I listen to. I'm one of those original American Cablevision kids, MTV,
Yeah.
music television.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I was one of those ones glued watching Metallica, Rush,
White Snake.
White Snake, Def Leppard. Good God, I mean, the list goes on and on. And then to get the call to meet this guy, and it's like, okay. And then to hear the vibes he was coming up with, it's like, oh snap. So and then to find out his background is quartet, another church boy, I couldn't go wrong. I couldn't. So I am grateful to the creator for bringing us together. So it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really is.
The God, oh my God, my question just left me just that quick. Um you told me your funny interaction. The question is, do any of you have any funny fan interactions or stories that you can remember? Yours, you already told me. I don't think it get no better than that one.
Yeah, I don't want no more of those. But I won't be surprised if it happened again.
So your pre-show playlist, like if you're not you guys listen to a bunch of different things, but when you're at home, relaxed and you just turn on your what would your God, what is the name of that? What would your playlist be? When you just like the I can't, it's not MP3 player, but like your what would you guys be playing at home? Like what would you turn
It
on?
could be anything.
Anything.
It could be anything.
Because I mean, as far as what we do live, we're not. I know me personally, I'm not doing songs because to remember or trying to remember it. I'm doing it because I know them, and there's a difference. I know the record. I'm involved in the record, like I'm in the record. So I don't need to necessarily sit and listen to the records we're about to do. So it may just be silence, honestly, for me.
So that you just quiet just to relax.
Yeah, most of the time just
Okay.
chilling,
All right.
But but at the same time, I could be listening to some reggae.
Yeah. Because wasn't that what you did on stage? You did kind of it was like a reggae song.
Only one.
Yeah.
Only one.
You started it off. I don't even think you played the whole. So you
I didn't do
did the whole song. I was waiting to listen to the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Good.
we
That
got more.
So like because I know when I clean up I listen to Mary. When I need to relax I listen to Erica Badu or Jill Scott or somebody like that. So do you guys have them type of people that you know?
Man, I honestly, I know I can't speak for him, but I know me. A lot of times, I might be listening to one of my teachers, like Dick Gregory, uh, Dr. Ray Higgins, Farrakhan, or even George Carlin. I'm probably listening to something like that, honestly.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or depending on what more market it is, I'm listening to what's going on in that market. Because there's some pain everywhere as much as there's joy, and so that's what it is for me. Because it just got to be said, like people don't really want to think anymore, and so much of what we're involved in is socially engineered and being controlled by terrorist groups or organizations.
Hmm.
And, you know, the invader is never going to honor the culture that they invade. And so those are things that I be thinking about, and, you know, thinking about what's socially engineered in that particular market that I'm in to speak to the people about what's going on, you know, and understanding, you know, their pain, because more likely I didn't live through it already myself. You know, when you go to a town and the people in the town know that they're contaminating the water that they drink, they shower, and all that stuff, and that's tough. But I guarantee you, you know, we've either experienced or got somebody in this band, an individual that's experienced it,
Hmm.
and you know, to be able to speak to that, that's important uh, to me. And you know, a lot of people don't want to call the governments what they are, but it's a lot of terrorist organizations out here. It is what it
It
is.
is what
I'm
it
not afraid to
is.
say it.
So, what's next for you guys? Any projects, tours, or collaborations you have coming up?
Our manager just hit us today, like, okay, until we get these dates lined up, let's get back in the studio. So that's what we're right back at, you know, right back
Okay.
at recording some new material.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Back in the lab. Back in the lab.
So we're gonna keep just doing stuff consistently, uh, and play the game. Because I mean, like I said, we're older now, so we know what the lick is, and you know, it never really changes. It changes how they present it, but it's still the same game.
It's still the same.
You know, it's still people cheating and falsifying numbers, and that's gonna happen. And people should have seen that, like, especially when Cash Money showed, hey, we're selling less records, but with millionaires. Here are these people saying that they selling, you know, diamond and this and that, but they're broke. You know. So yeah, we're just gonna stay on our path and on our journey, and you know, stay as positive as possible, but yet and still let people know that we know what's going on. You know, and we know that people can relate to that.
Yeah. I listened to you guys' songs, the three songs that you guys have up there that's in your autobiography.
Mhm.
Um ooh,
Just know that what luck,
yeah,
and they keep flapping their gums.
yeah, that's the one I wanted to ask you about. That's the one I wanted to ask you about. Because I was curious, like the name of it was like, okay, now I'm curious as to what this song is. What was the story behind that one?
Um, honestly, some things I've been already talking about. You know, everybody can't go where you're going. You know, your destiny is yours. That's between you and the Creator. And you have people who claim that they love you and be hating on you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Constantly just, you know, always negative. And, you know, you have to remove yourself from that and focus on you. Um, and so, you know, that's what that was about, you know. And we always try to have a deep message in our music. Um, because like I said, the social engineering has brainwashed so many people that they're okay with telling lies to try to hurt someone's forward motion,
Hmm.
you know, because they feel that, oh, this indoctrination got me covered by the whatever.
By the blood.
You know, so I can mistreat somebody, but I'm gonna be no, that's coming back on you. You know what I'm saying? I really don't have to do nothing. And that's been one of the greatest lessons in life is understanding that every battle is definitely not mine. You know. So, you know, we just, you know, trying to make us a great records and, you know, keep a message in the music that people can relate to.
So do you have you got songs from each subject? Like I know it was one of them was a love song. I think it was the it was well for me it was a love song. Listen, I should have wrote the names.
Well,
of the
we
three
like to
songs.
have fun too.
Yeah. um. So do you guys do like the dance music, the you know the kind of the love songs, and do you do message songs? Is that how you group your
Yeah, because we want to be able to be well rounded and do songs that that can people can connect a year to or a time period to, like, okay, that had to be around this time,
Mhm.
you know. But also at the same time, we want to try to make as much classic music as possible, and so that's when you have to be a real mastermind at lyrics, and you know how to do it in a way that 20 years from now people can play that and still can relate to the message. But we have plenty of teachers to teach us how to do that. It didn't start with me.
We have way too many
Yeah.
teachers. Yeah, good
But
teachers.
that's the great thing about it is when you do something to create other teachers, then they can never focus on a leader, which stops your movement.
Mhm.
See, if everybody have the same knowledge, then they can continue without having someone to lead them. They know how to do it themselves. But that's part of the brainwashing, is to keep you asleep. You know, where you don't think you can do for yourself. But it's what I do. Don't nobody feel sorry for an adult. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta learn our lesson. The since your background is gospel, do you find yourself kind of veering back there? Kind of that's where your roots are. So, you know, do you kind of veer back to your gospel roots or?
Um. So the only honest way to answer that question is there's things that I will always love about coming from a quartet background, particularly. Um, but when going researching and fact checking, I had to make a decision of what message I wanted to be on. That I wanted to be on the message of knowing or the message of just believing. And I knew that no longer being on the message of believing would isolate me, but I was okay with it because I was the only child for 18 years. So that didn't bother me. And uh, I wanted to be more on the message of knowing, and that shifted me in a major way, you know. So yeah.
I understand what you said.
Yeah,
You said it without saying it. I just understand.
yeah, because I mean, and I, before I got here, I was, I was like, dang, what I'm gonna say now? I'm like, no, that ain't me. I know I'm just, it's just off the cuff, like I do what I do. But even in this right here, and I'm just saying, let's leave it alone. I met these people, man, and they was talking, and I was thinking about my teacher at the time, and they was just saying off the wall stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, man, how old is the Sphinx? And then how old is that dude you talking about? How old is the Sphinx again? You get what I'm saying? It's like, nah, man, your math ain't mathing. And this is just my opinion. I understand more and more now that in a lot of stories that was used for social engineering to control the masses, those characters wasn't real. You get what I'm saying?
I
And
understand. I'll follow you.
if you have other cultures who stole from that culture and those characters weren't real, and then you change the name to other, but it's the same characters, it's like that's social engineering for controlling the masses, and I'm not with that. You know.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Did I say that safely?
Yes, you said it safely. Yes, you did.
Yes.
You definitely said it safely.
Mhm.
I just understand. I follow you.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think in a movement, particularly we as a Kibalanian people, and for those who don't know what Kibalan mean, that's just the original name, of what people call Africa, which was named after a Caucasian man.
Scipio Africanus.
Exactly. And for those that don't know that,
Go look
so
it up. It's there.
It's just it was things that's I talk about on the record that's really been just on my mind. Like I'm not an Arab, so why am I looking for some Arab dude to save me? I'm not a European, so why I'm looking for a European dude to save me? How do you put that in song without because everybody ain't gonna love what you do,
Right.
and so yeah.
I understand. Got that. I understand. I will ask that again.
No, ask anything. I just I had some things on my mind before I got here, and I just instead of beating myself up about like man, how I'm, I was like, nah, I'm gonna do what I normally do, just speak my
Be
mind.
yourself.
It's crazy because man, I know some people literally would do somebody wrong because they think they're covered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what that
All
was
they have
designed
to do
for.
is repent. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I mean, even in this, man, I have some people that's supposed to be cool with me, but I just don't. I position them. I don't look at them that way, and left a message about man, when is the show? Well, all of a sudden now you can't read, but you say you support the band. Like, what is that about? Or oh, well, we're not doing nothing together, so and I want to be with you, but because we ain't doing, I ain't gonna support it. Well, you never support the band in the first place. No, that's how some people are, and I don't have a problem talking about it. I just don't. Like, I'm very raw when I do talk, but when I ain't around, I'm just I'm ghost. Yeah.
I asked that because I grew up in church too. Like my background is the same background as you guys, but I didn't play the drums though. I was in the choir.
Oh, choir girl.
But I grew up in church, and it's like whatever I do, no matter what, like when I sit and think, I always go back to what I grew up on. So that's why I was asking you.
One thing I want to say to everybody, whatever it is, what religion is, hey man, if it help make you a better person, by all means, I guess stick to it. But please, 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 all people, black, white, I don't care, research everything.
Yeah.
Question.
Because as my grandfather used to always say, everything is not what it seems. If I don't say nothing else, I just want to leave that with people.
Okay. We gonna leave that alone.
We can stay there for
we
some
gonna leave that
hours.
alone. What you said you don't have anything coming up. Are you guys playing anywhere anytime soon?
As of right now, we don't know.
We don't know.
I imagine he's working on some stuff, but what that is, we don't know. All we know is we're going back in the studio as of right now.
Are you working on another album, or you
I think we're gonna stick with singles for a while before we focus on the body of work. I think when we actually do a body of work, we want that to be very special. Want to be marketed and promoted a certain way.
And calculated.
Very calculated. Meet the staff of people that's actually involved. I'm talking about not just one person with the record label. I'm talking about everybody. Like, what are your position in making this record work or this album work?
The marketing plan and all that kind of stuff.
Want that to be
sure
special,
everything to be in order and
it'll probably be a while for
to match the record. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the singles work too, because I listen to them. I listen to the songs. I'm upset you guys didn't get the interpretation I got from this, but everybody has their own interpretation from the song.
Which one?
It was
They keep flapping their gum?
No, that one I was questioned about. I had a question about, but it was
Just know that. What luck?
What luck was the one I liked. I think that's the one I put on my story when I advertised the you guys were coming on. But the other one you guys
just know that.
Mm-hmm.
You got a question about it?
No, I kind of got love songs out of that. You didn't get love
songs
out of that?
So what that is about, and I'm gonna keep it real. That song is about the marijuana world. But I sung it as if I was talking to a woman.
That's why I got the interpretation I got from.
But it's the same thing because I mean, when you have certain pains, and if you have the right type of smoke or whatever, it'll help,
Yeah.
ease that. Well, the same thing with a woman. If you have the right type of woman, a woman can,
Really?
she can't be, you got to be your own peace, joy, and happiness. That got to be within you. But she can, complement what you have if she comes with that same energy.
Yeah.
And that's how I wrote
Okay. See, I wasn't far off with it.
it.
I wasn't far off with it because that's the vibe I got from it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's going on with that.
Wait, why you looking like that over there? what was your definition from it? His was that one.
Honestly, I can honestly go a million different ways, to be honest with you. So, like he said, you can have the right person, excuse me, with the right energy, or talking about sweet Mary Jane,
Whichever one.
whichever one.
Okay.
So, or that one thing that one thing you like to do. Say, for instance, for example, say you have a green thumb and you like gardening. Say if you had a bad day at work and you decide you just want to get out in your yard and you just
That's what makes you calm.
that just clears the air for you. Whatever it is that brings you positivity. Yeah.
Okay.
Just know
For me.
that our music is more indica and not sativa.
It's
more of a body high and not a
Not
head
a head
high. Because we're analog, we're not digital.
See that? I mean, they probably took a different interpretation of that. It's like, like he said, whatever makes you calm.
Because digital is flat. That's like hitting somebody like this, but really, if you was in a fight, you're gonna turn that fist a little bit, make it more round. And so we all about the analog, the way we record, the way we sound. That's all analog processing. Yeah.
We're trying to make you feel it. In layman's terms.
Bodies, all in the body.
All in the body. We don't want you to just hear us. We want you to feel us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to let everybody know where we can find your music at? And
We're first starting off at PhuketJohnson.com, but you can find us anywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. I mean, it's on all digital outlets. The merchandise store is finally being completed, so you can buy, T-shirts or whatever they got up there. So we got people that actually do that for us.
okay, do you know the website? What's the website for it?
The website is PhuketJohnson.com.
Okay.
And you should be able to go there to find anything. If you're a promoter, a booking agent, or whatever, you're trying to book the band, you can go to the EPK, the Electronic Press Kit, and our manager information is there to book the band. If you want to do any more endorsements, and we keep getting those coming in, that's good. Yeah, so you can reach out to Steve. But I would like to say, because my brother's sitting here right now, man, super thanks to our brother Kevin Glover. We don't look at him just a friend. He's like family to us. So he's been real good to us over the years and vice versa.
Okay. I want to thank you guys for coming on and answering my 50 questions.
Ooh, praise the Lord. I feel like singing a church song right now.
We made it.
I really enjoyed you guys, and it was very informative to me. I am gonna go back and listen to my song again to make sure I got my interpretation right. I'm gonna go back and listen to that song again.
Your perspective is your perspective. So
That's
it's
right.
not wrong. It's not wrong.
And I really I'm grateful that you guys came and sat with me,
No
took
doubt,
the time
no
out.
doubt.
And
Likewise, thank you for
I hope
having
to see
us
you again soon, or can't wait for y'all next project to come out. Again, this is News and Views with Bella. I want to thank everybody for listening, and I hope you got something out of it. I especially got the right correction of your name out of it. It's Phuket,
yeah.
everyone.
And we didn't say nothing to get you kicked off the air. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
So we're gonna end this, and as always, stay connected.
No doubt.
The Connected Radio.